This episode is brought to you by 7,000 Islands Co. We've currently got an exclusive offer for our Australian audiences only. 7,000islands.co/the Cheatcoders. If you go to that website, you can get $5 off any purchase of spirits.
Make sure you use the promo code the Cheatcoders as you check out.
Yeah. And we're currently promoting, and you would have seen it all of our socials, ube cream liqueur, which is based off of the ube, which is native to the Philippines. It's purple, it's sweet, it is everything you want to eat.
Hey, you can put it in your treats.
Yeah. You can have ube cream liqueur over ice. You can have it in a cocktail. You can have it with milk, or I like to put it in protein. Put some protein powder in it, vanilla flavored protein powder.
He's still blushing over it.
We know you.
Why are you moving, bro? Sometimes I like to use it on my protein.
Sprinkle a little bit of vanilla flavored protein on that. On my halo halo as well, man.
Hey.
But yeah, however you want to drink it, it's really versatile in terms of drinking. Like you can blitz it up with some coconut, and some coconut rum as well. Man, there's some cocktails that you can make with the ube cream liqueur.
Or you can drink it straight.
Yeah.
Drink it straight with some friends. That sounds like a great Christmas. Sounds like a great family outing.
Yep.
All you need is just this ube liqueur to make things go
perfect gift
good.
for whoever your friend's birthday, just any family gathering.
Yeah.
Very, very nice bottle to give as well.
Yeah.
It looks what did Elijah Yo say? He said it looked like a potion.
Yeah,
Purple potion.
Purple potion.
When
We'll
you're done
take
with
it
the
there.
bottle too, you can use that for bingo. Put all the letters in there.
Oh man.
I heard if you rub it, a Filipino genie comes out.
Oh, is that? His name's
It's,
Billy.
Rex.
It sounds like Michael Jackson.
Billy Genie.
Billy Genie.
Oh man. If you purchase it before the 9th of September, you'll be able to go to our pickup event with 7,000 Islands at Alexandria, and we'll have the details.
Yeah,
linked
we'll be
below.
there. We're going to have some
Yeah.
food and music.
Oh man,
Just
that's
hang
dope.
out.
A little
Yeah.
party.
So make sure you order it and purchase it online first before you come to the pickup event, and that's when you'll be given your bottle of ube cream liqueur.
Hand by hand from the Cheatcoders.
Yeah.
Get a
No.
handshake as well. Get a photo. Get a photo. Autograph.
We've got some
autograph
other,
bottle.
we've got some other things that are
Signed bottle.
there on the event. But yeah, we'll have more details below.
And always remember, drink responsibly.
100%.
So I'm gonna start the show. Yo 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Raph. This is episode number 244.
245. I don't know.
And I'm
It's one
here
of
with
those.
my usual suspects of Mr. Wants to describe himself with a shirt because he wants to let everybody knows how he feels inside about himself, thinking that he's all guapo and shit, is Mr. Don doing stuff.
What's doing?
And on to my right, we got Mr. Still wearing the navy, giving up on the black jumpers and making sure that he brings more color into his life, including the beige, is Mr. Garcia.
Pew, pew, pew.
And all the way in London town, we just figured out he's delayed right now, is Mr. That's Blazing.
Hey, what up, yo? What's up, guys?
And it's a special episode because we have
See
a
the delay?
special,
There's like a 3-second delay.
special guest.
Special.
And he is a comedian, funny guy.
Yes.
Apparently you can't call comedians funny when you
Yes.
intro him for some reason, but I'm going to call him very funny good and very good at this comedy, is Mr. is Mr. James Roque.
Hey, what up? What up? What up? Thanks for having me. I think you're allowed to call comedians funny when you intro them. You just can't call them funny boy.
like a funny boy.
Funny boy.
I think funny's alright, but funny boy is I can see Ursula from Little
Imagine calling
Mermaid.
a bag that. Imagine like a bag. You call a bag like a fanny pack.
That's offensive to bags, man.
Is it offensive to bags? We're being baggers right now. Okay.
Funny pack.
So
Yeah, dog.
James has been on the show before, and I think that was like 100 episodes before, like 100 episodes ago. So how you been? I think now you are in a different location, different environment than you were last time.
No longer in the NZ.
No longer in the NZ.
Yeah.
Where are you now?
So I actually live in Toronto. I've moved here now.
Tita.
I live in T-Dot. I live in the 6. I live in Drake's basement.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you
Love
seen
it.
Drake yet?
Love it. With all his poetry, you're the one writing his poetry, the one line a book thing type of
Did
thing.
you help him write his book? Did you see
Yeah.
that?
He
Drake's book?
doesn't hire me to write his raps where he brags about stuff, but he hires me to rap his sad ones where he cries. Like, the one,
I love that,
the crying Rolex ones.
Depresso.
I want you
Yeah.
to meet the. I want you to be the person that meets the guy who actually writes the happy stuff, and you put you guys in a room, and I have no idea.
No. We're in different basements. He's in another basement.
You're in the West Wing
Yeah,
right
the
now.
Drake
How many
keeps in these
basements is
basements.
this
This
guy?
Drake, bro.
Yeah.
He's
So
got a lot
you-
of basements, bro.
It sounds like he's trafficking
Yeah.
people to write his raps, man.
Yeah, I have to call him. I have to go. Hello, Mang Drake. Mang Drake, can I please have? And then he gives me food.
Not even queer.
Tongue Drake. Sounds like a good sauce.
Mang Drake. Yeah, it's like
That's
brown. It's like
that's a depressive sauce.
I know it's a sad sauce. It's like brown, but not that brown. It's like kind of white. Like you're like, are you white?
A little bit.
It's light skin sauce.
Yeah, it's white.
It's light skin monk to
It's
us,
light
bro.
skin.
Yeah, Mang Drake.
It's Mung Drake.
Monk Drake.
Crispy, crispy.
That's I don't know if there are any Harry Potter fans here, but that's what your tita calls the little creatures in Harry Potter. You know, they got petrified by the Mang Drake.
Yeah, no.
That's very specific reference.
It's really obscure. Only Filipinos that are also Harry Potter fans will understand that.
Yeah, I know, but
And I love that.
that's like me and
I
that.
love that about
That's
you,
niche,
bro.
bro. I got it
I
because
love
I'm in
it
the
because you
UK,
niche
man.
the hell out of it, bro. You niche out of everything. So
I know.
I like that.
Sorry,
I
guys.
like that you do that, man. What brought you to Toronto, bro?
I've derailed this already. Sorry. What brought me
It's all
here?
good.
Yeah.
I was like kind of. I feel like in New Zealand, I'd like done everything I wanted to do in terms of like
You wanted to
career.
open your
Yeah.
horizons.
Yeah. So you can't pause after open your. You gotta open your and then like the stop. You gotta open
The
your
lag makes it worse.
horizon.
Yeah.
Thinking what?
Yeah.
Your legs.
Horizon.
straight up.
Yeah. I just wanted to like find other kind of other places where I could like challenge myself career wise and
Start.
yeah. I landed here because I wanted to go to America but I didn't want to get shot.
It's easier
Oh,
too, right? Because
dude.
you can just get a visa from like
Yeah.
I
Commonwealth
thought you meant
buys,
it's easy
you
to
can
get
just go-
shot.
Well, yeah, it is as well.
It's really
That's
easy
your
over
thing,
there,
man.
right?
It's so fucked
Oh,
up
it's
talking
easy to
about
get
this
shot.
now, but like one of my friends just today, or like 10 hours ago, in Seattle, they were shopping. Like my friend's kids were there, and there was a shootout in the shopping mall. Like this isn't. It's funny now because we know people were safe, or like at least my friend's kids
Wow.
were.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's America's wild, but America's like the it's like the movie The Purge, man. Like it's like actually like that out there. You gotta like look out over your shoulder and shit.
Yeah.
Getting
Crazy.
shot.
I found out recently.
Yeah, there was that guy getting. I don't know. So I saw on TikTok that guy, this Chinese guy, getting interviewed. It's like, what do you like most about America? Oh, what should find most weird about America? And he's like, oh, I find smoking weed. Like people just casually smoke weed. And it's like, what's one thing you like about China? It's like, oh, I like that I can go out at night and I won't get shot because people don't have guns. It's like normal to be, you know. And this is like some Chinese foreign dude. I was like, oh, that's cool. Goes to show,
I
like-
found out recently that in
That's
I
cool.
found out
China is-
recently that in Seattle and other places in America, they've got what's called mutual combat laws. So you can have a fight with somebody in the street. No, this is real. This is real. So
Fatality.
Mutual
Bro, that sounds like.
so this is real. This is real, right? This is real.
It sounds
So this
like
is
a G-rated Mortal Kombat. Mutual combat.
mutual combat laws. So
You want to fight? I want to fight too. Mutual combat.
so
We're in agreement.
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
so I think this happened.
Liu Kang wins. Self-defense.
So I
Instead of
found,
Sub-Zero, it's Subway. That's where we're going.
Like, aggravated assault, not guilty.
Finish him only if you are defending yourself.
but yeah, so that there's mutual combat laws in America
Assault
in some
and
states.
battery.
And I learned about this because there was this real life, or like in quotation marks, hero named Phoenix Jones. It was a dude who was dressing up as a superhero
Christ.
in Seattle who was going around trying to like fight crime and stuff like that. And there was this one video of
vigilante.
him and his vigilante mates, and they were like trying to stop a brawl or something. And then they went, yeah, okay, the perpetrator has agreed to mutual combat. And then they go proceed to fight. And there's a cop there, and the cop's like, yeah, that's fine. They both agreed.
It's not illegal.
As long as you don't hurt anyone else or you don't destroy any property, you're able to fight in mutual combat.
That's mad. It kind of feels like an
think
NHL
if you're not-
game, you know.
Yeah, it's like
Right,
you throw
that
the
sounds. That
gloves
sounds like. That sounds
Yeah,
like
it's
most
a part of
PC
it.
games. Like when you're playing Diablo, you can like be mining and grinding for gear, and then you can only like mutually fight someone if you accept. It's just like a video game.
down. Yeah.
Oh, you talk
You guys
about
watch?
niche.
You guys watch Prison Break?
Yeah, I've seen some episodes.
Yeah, you can't. You don't roast me for being niche. You're like, you know, in Diablo, and that one little thing that you do that no one else knows about. You know, you gotta have the crystal that you find on the mountain, and if you don't have the crystal,
And then you can fight. When you
and then
reach a certain
press-
level, you're like,
and you press up, down, left.
and then you have to do accept, and then you click accept, and then suddenly you're allowed to. Oh, I can actually fight.
You guys know,
It's
right,
like
Imagine
Steal
the
your gear.
schools,
You
bro,
know.
where you write a note saying, "Do you want to fight me? Yes or no?" And then you just give it to someone you want to
Did they
fight.
do that?
Maybe.
Bullies do that anyway.
Oh man.
Come at me,
Yeah.
bro.
That's what it is. That's the come at me, bro. Law.
I think if you have like, I think if you're not hurting people, right? Like you've agreed that this is what we're doing. It is kind of like ice hockey. So it's a thing here. It's like in ice hockey, you're allowed to. If someone hurts you, you can like throw your gloves down. That means you challenge them to a fight. And if they throw their gloves
the
down
thing.
too, then
It's
that's
allowed,
fine.
right?
You're allowed
I think
to
my
fight.
Canadian mates were telling me that.
It's a
Like,
modern
that's
day
part of the
duel.
sport.
Well, that's it.
You're
It's
allowed
a
to
challenge you to
Bro,
a duel.
it's so
That's it.
allowed. You're allowed to. It's an NHL 23 in the video game. Like it's a feature.
You just drop the gloves and
Yeah,
start
yeah.
hitting each other. That's cool.
That's
Turns
mad.
into
I challenge you
Smackdown.
to a duel, sir.
Imagine being the less popular person that no one wants to fight you. You just challenge someone, but they don't challenge you. They don't accept your challenge. So you're just
You get
standing around
rejected.
without no gloves.
It's a challenge rejection.
Everyone's just skating around. You're
Just
just
That's the
like,
worst thing
just
getting
cold.
friends on.
just sad and cold. Numb hands, malamig.
so long.
Why won't anybody fight me?
Take your gloves off, and then your shirt, and then your pants. Like, I don't want to fight this guy. This dude's nude, bro.
I challenge you to sex.
That's the worst fucking NHL game ever. Like, what are we watching, bro?
Yeah, I'm sure there are mutual copulation laws as well. It's just like
The cops there, like, yeah, I can't do anything, bro.
they both agreed to it. They both consented. As long as they don't hurt anybody else or any property,
so
they're
wild.
fine. They can fuck
I
on the
love
street.
how.
I love it.
I love how mutual
Mutual
copulation.
combat.
That's just sex, man. that's just two people having sex if it's mutual.
That's just-
Well, in
they're
fact,
just
all
fucking.
sex should be mutual. Because if it's not mutual,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Hey, that's it, bro. I love it. There's consent all around the board. Well, from sex to fighting, bro.
Mutual.
Yeah,
I want to have mutual sex. It's like, you should be.
I think that mutual combat thing. That mutual combat thing probably goes like way back to the actual like duels with like when you probably used to
duels.
duel with the gun and stuff. Because like
challenge
if you
you,
both
yeah.
agreed, like go ham, go for it. You know.
Oh shit! Like in Back to the Future. Well, not Back to the Cowboys, where they're like they meet outside and shit, and they go draw.
Even
Yeah.
olden day England,
Yeah. They slapped it with the glove.
Oh, yeah.
Knights and
Challenge
shit.
you to a
Oh, yeah,
duel.
they invented that shit. Yeah, they invented that shit.
They invented that shit.
With the glove.
Yeah, that's why Nat's moved to. That's why Nat's moved to the UK because he can still duel. He's like, I want to duel some motherfuckers.
Exactly. Like not Diablo
Can you
anymore.
see if
I
you
wanna
can do
step
that,
out of
Nats?
that realm. Well, I'm just gonna start mutually combating people.
No, like you don't
If
have
I
to
come back next
mutually-
episode of Black Eye, I swear to God.
But it was mutual, so it's okay.
You agreed to it, but
It was mutual, so it's okay. It's alright.
You can't get mad at us.
Oh, speaking of-
you agreed to it.
Hey, speaking of mutual, I did have a story, and it's good James is here because we can get perspectives. Remember last episode it got cancelled, and I said I had a story.
What did you do?
Can I share it? So I actually went out to a comedy night.
The episode got cancelled. I thought you said
The
you
episode,
got cancelled. I was like, what the
Oh
fuck?
no! But speaking about it, we could get cancelled depending on our stories here.
Okay,
So
I
I was
can't
out
wait.
with I was out with a mate, right? We went to a comedy show in London, and we went to see it. And then after it, so fast forward, it was great. We went to the bar across the road, and we were like making jokes about one of the acts made a joke about immigration. So we were just laughing about it, like, I think the joke was like the host was poking fun of these kids at the front because they look like they're from Dubai or something, and then they were doing dodgy shit like stepping out, coming back in and saying, "Oh yeah," it's like, "Where do you guys keep going?" It's like, "Oh, just keep having business, like had business," and he's like, "Oh, business," and I think he made the joke about like some like trafficking or something like that. And then by the end of it, is like by the end of the show, they weren't in their seats anymore, and then the host was like, "Oh, I think immigration must have took them or something like that." So anyway, me and my friend, this tall white Welsh guy outside, we recite the joke, immigration, ha 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 ha. There's this group next to us with a couple and this
Transgender?
transgender person,
Yeah.
but female, but is a male.
Yeah.
underneath.
Sure.
Yeah. And then he or she goes like, "Immigration, you think that's funny?" And started like sort of just having a go at us. And then it started escalating. My mate's this like tall white guy from Wales, right? And then out of nowhere, it's like, "You think it's funny?" And it just kept getting in my friend's face. And he tried to push her back, like, because she was getting really close. And then he just slapped him. Like, not a proper just like this, like a proper, like a hard slap.
Was
So
it
we were
mutual
stunned.
combat?
Because, like, it wasn't mutual. It was not a mutual combat. It was a one-way combat. And then we're looking at the
That was
I
a
was
friend,
like, "Hey,
friend
what's
request, bro.
going on?" That was the "Do you accept the duel?"
Yeah, do you accept it? Because
But
if you slap
anyway,
back,
like
that's the mutual agreement.
my friend, I feel a bit shook because like I didn't intervene, and then she just kept slapping my friend really hard, like proper. There's like proper assault now, and I'm thinking like, what do you do in this situation? Like, are we gonna get cancelled if my friend like hits him back,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough. You got yourself in a tough situation. Two things. Firstly, I think is actually a derogatory term now. Just a heads up. I don't know if you know, but it's actually
Can't even say
yeah.
that.
Well, you can say it. You can, but like
Edit
you know,
point on that one.
if you'll get slapped in the
Cancelled
fucking
for
face. Is
sure.
what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
You'll be gone, done. I think it's just straight up. I think it's just transgender. You didn't know. That's fine. I'm not being like you're bad, but you are bad. You're a bad person. That she should have slapped you. But
Damn.
I think you found yourself in you're in a tough situation because you
We
were
couldn't do
trying to.
anything.
They received the information that you got secondhand. Like they don't have the context. So okay, let me take it back. So as a standout, and I think the how comedy works, how stand up works, is the stand up comedian has a contract with the audience, and you guys have a mutual agreement that things that are being said here, as long as the comedian's saying it in good faith and they're trying to entertain you, there's a little bit of a leeway. Like this is a safe, like a special environment where we might say things that are outrageous.
Yeah.
Like obviously not an excuse to say your fucking racist manifesto on stage, but there's like a little bit more of a leeway for jokes. And so,
But in public.
but for the audience, so the audience are like, okay, so what this person's saying, their part of the contract, for the audience's part is, they go, I know that the comedian is trying their best to make me laugh, but for the comedian's part, the contract is, I have to try to make them laugh. I can't just stand here and say offensive things because my job as a comedian is to get laughs. So that's the contract. Now, that contract's broken if the comedian isn't up there to get laughs from people, and it's just offending people for no reason, not for no jokes. And it's also broken if the audience automatically assumes that the comedian's acting in bad faith, and kind of ignores the fact that you are in a comedy club. We're not just, this isn't a TED talk, you know.
Yeah.
And so what happened was those people heard you guys talking about that joke outside of that contract and outside of that context. And so, of course, in the real world, kind of fucked up.
It might not. But you know what? Another thing, though, we were looking at the couple, right, that we were looking at. We were sort of like, are you with them? And they're like, we don't know. So we realized they were getting it first, and we just inherited her. So she was annoying them. She was already heckling this other couple. And they didn't even help us when my friend got slapped. They kind of like, oh, your problem now, and left. So I'll tell you the punchline, though. I wasn't already upset. I was already upset for my friend, but I think this took it over the line. Then this I said something. It's like, hey, dude, you don't get, like, it's out of context.
Sinabihan na kita na bad word yun.
That's a bad word.
That's why you got slapped in the face.
And then I kept saying, like, you can't.
I don't know why we kept getting hit. All I kept doing was saying the thing that she told me not to say.
But get this, I think she crossed the line, because when I kept saying like, hey, look, you're taking it out of context, and then she said to my friend, hey, you racist person, taking your young Asian lover out.
Yeah.
So she referred to me as the young Asian lover, like I'm the beta bitch. I'm older than my friend. And I was like, whoa, I just got put in this category without me even. I thought that crossed the line, and I thought maybe that warranted me. I was like, are you kidding? I'm older than this guy. And then he refers to me as the young gay bitch. He's like, you a young gay bitch lover of this dude. And I was like, whoa.
Okay, I think
I got put.
I'm a top note.
I think you.
Oh my goodness.
I think you. I think you probably didn't. What's it called? She probably was just like
She
fucking
just
around,
assumed.
like just annoying everyone at the thing, because at that, like, if that's quite a racist stereotype itself to assume that.
Yeah,
So,
she assumes I'm the bitch.
I don't know.
She assumed I was the bitch.
They seem like they were looking for something. Like they're just looking. They're just picking on something
for
to stop.
That's
I
not
think
that combat. That's one-way combat.
I will say that don't call a transgender person the other T word in real life, because then you'll have actual mutual combat, and you're a short Filipino guy, and they might be really tall, and they're gonna fuck you up.
No, that's the thing. My mate said,
I don't know if you watch
you
Push
a
Drag
young
Race,
little bitch.
but they be strong, fam.
she was
We're gonna
strong.
make
She
you
had a
the
grip.
young
My mate's
little
tall. I was
bitch.
like, whoa. Yeah, we got turned
my
into a
young
little
lover.
bitch. You couldn't do anything. We couldn't hit back.
Yeah,
And she was stronger than us.
I feel for you.
He or she.
I feel for you. I think it's tough because they were, one, probably looking for trouble, and two, got your stuff out of context. But
Yeah.
I love this
mutual
therapy
combat
session
at all.
between Nats and James. It's awesome.
I also love how I came on this podcast today to like try to promote my special, but Nats is like, nah, let's talk about the most controversial thing. So if this clip ever goes out, he'll get cancelled and no one will ever fucking watch this thing, because I'm gonna say the wrong word, I'm gonna misgender them multiple times. So fuck James, fuck the special. Let's go nuclear hot on this episode. Because I want to make him accomplice, like a culpable for the shit that I do in my fucking life.
I mean, I got no following, so it's like I'm just bumming.
What have you got to lose?
I got nothing to lose. No, but for real,
Hey,
though,
James,
thanks,
what's
man.
your
You gave
take
me
on
good
abortion,
perspective.
bro?
Okay, no, this is real talk, real genuine real talk. Just in case this is taken out of context. I think I have a little bit more leeway for transgender people just in real life, and especially if like they act out or like they snap or get mad or like do shit like this. I know it's bad. No excuse for violence. Shouldn't have never hit your friend. Nah. But for me, my take on it is
or call me a bitch. Sorry.
Or call you a bitch. Or use that racist stereotype against you. The fact that white dudes go to Thailand and stuff, or the Philippines, and get like young guys.
Filipino boys.
I have a lot more leeway and patience for transgender people because the world's been fucking mean to them, bro. Like, and so of course they're just gonna have like a shorter like patience for people potentially being bigoted towards others. Like, if you think we've got it hard as fellows out in the white world, bro, you got no fuck. Like, I'm in the arts, bro. I got mad transgender friends, which now sounds like I'm going, oh, my friends, like, no, but I've heard experiences in firsthand account, and it sucks out. It's hard, bro. So I got like a little bit more. I'm like, maybe like that's fine to punch your friend. No, that's not what I mean. But I'm just going like a bit more.
Your friend maybe deserved it a little bit.
I'm just a bit more like, look, I get it. I get it. But don't, like, you know, we're on your side. Don't punch me.
No, you're not.
Like, we just came from a comedy club, and we're just reciting what they said.
See,
we
this
wanted
is why I brought it up.
to bring you on this show just to have a casual, like, lighthearted conversation.
So, James, you got a special coming out, right?
I thought it was the most appropriate time. I came out at a comedy show. Can we talk about your special now?
Yeah, hey boys, I've got a new special. And that's just like, nah, but before we do that, how about we talk about the most divisive and controversial issue that's pressing in society right now?
I think that's an interesting topic.
And then we'll put your face on that part.
Hey, if anything happens, it's Rap's fault. He cuts the clips. He cuts all the clips. So he's gonna make you look.
Hey, so that's a really interesting topic in terms of the contract that a stand-up comedian has with an audience.
It is, though. I didn't know
because
that.
I think that's something that people don't really understand. Because, you know, I feel like when you hear a joke in a comedy club or in a like a comedy show, and then you try to put it out and try to repeat it back to your friends, I don't think it's as funny because in the moment it makes sense. My dad,
that's exactly right.
We were watching. I feel like I told you this on the previous podcast, but previous episode. But my dad was watching a Just for Laughs show about, there was this really big gentleman, like a really fat dude, talking about his joke was, I had one of those. I feel like we need to have bigger prisons, or like the penal colony here in America needs to be bigger. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, I had it done. Like it was like a play on words with penal and also penis. And so he had this joke that was like, I had a penis enlargement, then I got my legs bigger, then my arms, and now I look like this. And my dad, who is not by any means like, he doesn't have very much body fat, tried to retell that joke to us, and we were like, Dad,
that's
but the way that he presented it was like, you know, guys, I got the penis enlargement, and we're like,
I knew it,
and now my legs are big, and then my arms, and now I'm fat, and then we're like, Dad, what the hell?
Sorry, you had to be there. It's one of those things. You had to be there.
What the hell?
So who's Slatu, Don?
Oh man.
Yeah, I think in that situation, your dad also just fucked up the joke.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way of like, because I don't even bother trying to retell some people's jokes when it's a stand-up joke, because there's no way of doing it justice.
Nah.
There's
no chance. Yeah.
There's no way.
You've got everything fighting against you.
Because there's so much more. It's the delivery, the build up to it. There's so much more than just saying the punchline.
Not even that as well. It's like the tone of voice, but even beyond that, it's like the context that people, like, you were in a theater with like hundreds of people is different to you sitting across from your friend having lunch.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not the right vibe.
I was trying to retell one of your jokes to the boys tonight. Like, it was around the
Don, did you not learn any lesson from your dad?
We just said.
Why are you repeating your mistakes, Don?
No, it was more along the lines of, I was trying to describe like the type of content that you had in your last special. So you had a first special that was released in I think it was called Boy Mestizo. I watched it, and there's a part in it where you describe going to the Philippines with your Caucasian girlfriend, And like that's something that because I can relate to that, because I used to date my ex-girlfriend is white, and you know, we'd gone to different countries, and that the same experiences that you had, or I experienced them as well. So I was trying to explain that to the boys, but yeah, man, I was like, you know what, you guys should just watch it. You should just watch it.
You know, you should.
Yeah.
Check
You
it
just
out.
ended up sounding
You
like
had to
you're
be
flexing about your white girlfriend.
No. But we get it.
Yeah, we went around
We
the
get it.
Philippines
You love white
and
girls.
everyone was nice to her.
And not me. That's just basically
Yeah.
what it is.
So like we were speaking about your old special and your new special. What do you reckon is the difference between the two? Like have you grown as a person in terms of like the jokes or delivery? What do you find the difference between the two specials?
I think the first one, like Don was saying, the first one could get pretty heavy. The first one was like fucking full on, man. Like I don't if anyone has seen it or plans on watching it, it's a mild spoiler, but basically it chronicles my first trip to the Philippines after 20 years of growing up in New Zealand, and then I just kind of casually when I was there got reminded that there's heaps of hangovers from colonialism in the Philippines, like from when Spain was there, that we still fucking with, like that we're still dealing with, like like skin whitening is a big. It's like
that's still a thing, eh?
It's like people wanting to like brighten up their skin, and having an obsession with like pointy noses, and like people who are like lighter skinned or mixed or mestizo get so much more privilege. Like people in the Philippines will use the word mestizo as like a synonym for like handsome or attractive.
Mestizo privilege.
You know, they're like, wow, you're so tesoy, which means you're handsome, which is kind of, if you think about it, that's fucked up, bro. Like just because someone could pass as white, you're like, wow, you're more attractive than anyone who's brown. So that's the first special was kind of about that. So it was a little bit serious. It was like started off stupid and goofy, and then as you watch it, you're like, "Fuck, this is kind of screwed up." But this one is called Badong, and it's just about that, my name that I got given as a child. And so this one, I purposely was like, if it gets to a point where I'm talking about real emotional things, sure, but my goal isn't to really unpack anything huge in this. Like I just wanted to start off in a much like sillier place about my funny like little name. Yeah, but it still kind of touches on quite serious emotional stuff, because I think that's just kind of the work that I do. And whenever I might I make like a 1 hour show, I like it to have a little bit more than just like an hour of just straight jokes. I know that that's valid too, like a lot of comedians do that, but I like to have a little bit more Mang Tomas in the middle, like just a little bit more substance.
A little bit of sauce.
Yeah. I want a little bit of the crispy skin in my stand-up. I don't want just all meat. Like I want like some of the.
Oh, bro.
I
agree.
You know,
with the specials, do you go into it like would that approach be like, oh, I want this to be a bit more lighter than the last special, or do you realize as you continue writing jokes that it's going in that direction?
Yeah, when does the realization come? Like when you're
I like to have an idea of what I want to make, but often what happens is it gets hijacked halfway through by some shit I'm trying to unpack in my life, and so that like starts to seep into the work, you know. But I don't fight against that. I'm like, anyone who makes art or like creates art, and you guys will probably have heard a version of this when people who you've interviewed, you know, who make art and create shit, and for you guys too, like. It's not. I don't think it's bad. I don't think you should steer away when your work starts to become like speak to your personal life. I think that will only make it more relatable for people and will make it more real. You know, because you want to be authentic to whatever the fuck is going on with you.
Yeah, 100%. I think I was telling you, man. Like I like that last special had a message as well. And as well as being funny and hilarious and relatable. Is there a certain message as well in this new special that you've got, or is it just like?
I mean, I like to like I said, I never went into that special being like, I want this to have a message. It's like the message came from me unpacking that as a person and realizing, oh, this is what I learned from this experience. And I guess if you guys can, if anyone can learn from the mistakes I made or like can relate to it, then that's great. But I'm not like, this is now the moral of the story. Please listen. Like so for this one, I think it's got maybe a slight relatable thing that you can take away with you. But yeah, I don't like to look at them as lessons. I want to look at them as nuggets that you take away. I want to look at them as Denver Nuggets that you want to take away with you. Once you turn off the show. Yeah.
Like people, when they expect to go to a comedy show, the last thing they expect is like those nuggets, right? Mm. And then the way that you deliver those nuggets in the form of laughter is like, wow, I'm laughing, but at the same time, I'm learning something about, like culture, learning about life in a way. Myself. And I think great comedians do that. So that's really dope that you really have a lot of thought into your sets.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, because I'm like, my inspirations, it's like you're always inspired by the people that you watched, right? And so the people that I watched are like made comedy that spoke to me on another level apart from just laughing. So I'm like, well, this is the kind of shit that I want to make too. Like Chappelle's old specials, like his first ones that he dropped when he came back. Chris Rock's old specials. Like those things always have a little bit more meat to them, Yeah. Bo Burnham's Inside, like that shit is like, it's good, dude. It's juicy. Cause and like, don't get me wrong, I'm like, they should still be silly and stupid and goofy, and my shows always are still all those things. But I don't want it to sound like all my specials are like serious always. Like no, it's like I think there's a balance. It's like 80% goofy stupid shit, and then 20% like maybe something extra.
Yeah. It's like a barbecue stick. All the funny stuff is all the meats. The meats are the funny stuff, but the
serious stuff is at the bottom.
At the bottom, like, you know what? I've eaten all these jokes. Yeah. The serious stuff tastes really good with that.
The butt is the serious part because it hits you in the pussy. It's like it pulls up your heart.
And gout is the life-changing moment.
That's exactly it. It's like, another analogy is, those skewers. Remember those skewers that your parents used to make for your birthday party in the Philippines, where they'd put like marshmallow, hot dog,
on a hot dog.
Like, what the fuck is this?
And it's all on a pineapple.
What the fuck culture is this? That we have a skewer with hot dog, marshmallow, chocolate, like whatever they found in the pantry, and then put it in a pineapple. Like that screams like the dad wasn't ready for the party, and he's like, I need to make stuff all day.
Shoves it all on a stick.
Yeah, so I like my
marshmallow.
My special is like that. Like it's got like little bits for everyone in
it. Everything.
Oh man, we usually do segments on the episode on the show. Part of mine was I was really interested in the music that you had on your trailer for the special, man. Mm-hmm. And so the segment that I usually do is like fun facts. So fun facts about the music that James plays on the trailer for it. The song is called Young, Gifted, and Brown. And it's by an artist called Joe Bataan, who is whose father was Filipino and his mother was African American. And I was like, when I heard like the Young, Gifted, and Brown, I'm like, I have to know what this song is, and I had to look it up. Did you... Like, I think you were looking for a particular song for your special. I think you put it out on your stories and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Was this the song that you found, or did you already have this in mind when you were like trying to put together that trailer?
No, so that one was actually the actual song that I used is a song that has a sample from that song. It's called YGB by Roque G, who is a rapper. He's a Filipino rapper. I think he lives in San Francisco. I could be wrong. Out west.
Is it a girl or a guy?
A dude. Yeah.
A dude, okay.
It's a song by him that I got put onto him by one of my followers who lives in New York, who's a Filipino as well. Shout out to Kyle. And she put me onto Rocky, who I just went through his back catalog just because so many people replied to me which was so fucking cool, by the way. Like, that so many Filipino artists came up. You know, and some people messaged me personally and was like, hey, man, I want to put my hand up. But then I listened to their music and it wasn't quite a right fit, or I didn't like, you know, didn't vibe. No, I know.
Right fit, yeah, we get you.
We get it.
No,
It wasn't mutual.
fuck you guys. I'm trying to be like diplomatic.
It wasn't mutual.
I'm like trying to be professional, diplomatic, and then I can just hear Christian in the background like.
This whole show is just why we're trying to get James cancelled.
It didn't quite it didn't rock with the vibe that I was going for.
Yeah.
So but then I went through Rocky's back catalog and I found this song and I was like, YGB, what the fuck is that? And I listened to it, and as soon as like I heard those horns, I was like, yo, this is it. This is the song.
That's a track. Nice.
Yeah, because I originally was toying around with getting this other song, Manifest by Roque, who's like a rapper from the Philippines. But that's the one I was kind of toying with, but it was hard. I was trying to get the rights to it. I was trying to get it cleared, but the record label wouldn't get back to me in time. And so I was like, you know. But you guys should listen to that song. That song fucking rips. It's my favorite.
YGB.
Let's check it out.
The
YGB, Rocky by Rocky G, and also Low-Key Manifest. Low-Key Manifest is like my favorite hip-hop song from the Philippines, probably ever.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Low-key like L-O-W key, or like low-key like L-O-K-I?
The nerdy one. I've got Low-Key in Dragon Ball Z, that one.
Low-key in Dragon Ball, okay.
Right. Like
but yeah.
L-O-K-I.
Low key, okay,
Yeah. You get it, my man.
Yeah, we got
it. But yeah, that's kind of it. So but as soon as I heard that, I was like, and then I heard the lyrics, you know, I was like, oh, this is a very uplifting, empowering song, and my special kind of I want to have that vibe. I want it to encourage like other, you know, young Filipinos to do what I do. So I was like, let's fucking go. Let's do this. So I just DM'd him, man. I DM'd Rocky G, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get it popping.
That's mad. That's awesome. The sample that he uses on there, like, because I as soon as I heard the lyrics, like I searched it up, and I did hear that a lot of people had sampled that particular song as well. A little fun fact about the original sample on that, Joe Bataan, he grew up in East Harlem in New York, and he used to lead a gang. He was like a gangster before he became a musician.
Who's this?
Joe Bataan, who sings the Young Gifted and Brown song that was sampled on that YGB song. Yeah, man. When I read it, I'm like, that's sick. He's a badass, bro. He's a badass. Anyway, that's my fun fact for this week.
But
Nice.
That's a dope.
With
a dope deep
special,
dive, man.
Like, have you like with the special, like where can they really see the special? Is it online, or is it more so like you're gonna try and shop it around on like streaming sites and stuff?
So this one drops on YouTube on August 30.
Oh, nice.
For free.
Shit.
So anyone can watch
Hell
it.
yeah.
So
I think
so. It'll drop in Canada, and then 2 days later it'll drop for us.
Yeah, just 2 days later, according to our calculations.
Yeah, it'll drop
back
2
in
days
time.
later, and then they'll be like, "Oh shit, I thought it was only 2 days," and then you have to reschedule, and it's a whole thing. It'll drop August 30.
So what's the process of thinking of like giving it out for free in YouTube? Was that like your idea at the top, or did you plan on like reaching out to companies to see what you can get out of it, or was it just like, you know what, this is what I want to put it out in the world, and it'll be better off just for free on YouTube?
Yeah, I kind of just wanted everyone to have access to it. Like the other one, you know, this one didn't cost me as much to make, so I was like, I don't need to like recoup any money on this. So the first one I was kind of like, hey yo, this shit fucking, I had to crowdfund this shit. I had no money. Can pay me back. But with this one, I wanted it to just be accessible for anyone anywhere in the world, because I think this one in particular speaks to like a more general, like universal migrant experience as like a migrant Philippine migrant. So like,
Masses.
you know, obviously we have migrants all over the world from the Philippines. The diaspora is wide because we export nurses. So I want to reach them. And I also had so many people, like clips from my first special would like go viral on TikTok and shit. And then like people would comment like, where can I watch the full video? Where's part 2? So I was like, and I couldn't point them unless they lived in New Zealand to my special. Which the first one I'm still shopping around to see if I can get a worldwide platform. I can't, I just want to put it on YouTube. Like I want to like put it on a big, because I think the message of the first one is so fucking like important. So I want it to have a like big like Netflix, like I want it on Netflix essentially. Whereas for this one, I was like, I just want a piece of work that I can point to that is there, you know, that if you want more of what I do, it's accessible. And I think you guys will kind of know this too, right? Your podcast is free, anyone in the world. And so because you don't have that barrier, I'm sure you have fans in America, you have fans in Canada, you have you have people from the UK who listen to you guys because there isn't a barrier, right?
It's just nuts.
Have you found that? Yeah, it's just nuts.
Yeah,
getting punched in the fucking face.
By I don't know how you call it, say it. Transgenders.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways,
it doesn't make it better.
That's not going to be our
Before you
fallback.
say, it doesn't even make it better. If you say the right word and then go, oh, no, I can't say that. Like that's, it's like you said it. You're making me imagine that you said it.
I have to act better. I have to present it better whenever I.
You're exactly right there, James. With our listeners, you're exactly right there, James. With our listeners and stuff, we've got quite a few listeners in America and Canada.
Yeah.
Our
biggest audience is in the United States.
Do you find comedians not taking that? Do you find that comedians don't take that approach of giving their material out for free? Like, there's a lot of comedians is like, oh, you got to pay to hear my stuff, and then, and it's not in a world where everything like you have to put yourself out there, whether it be music or comedy. You got to have some material that people have access to, or that they won't even know what you're about, type of thing. Like, how do you find other comedians in their approach of giving out free material?
I think there's actually quite a lot of people. There's a lot of stand-up on YouTube that's like full specials from like comedians from all over the world, mostly from the States actually. To the point where I'm actually like, I was like, fuck, do I want to put it on YouTube? I don't want to get lost in the sea. But I think my one's niche enough. I have a niche enough audience that I can carve my own thing. But I think it's a balance. I think you don't want nothing on the internet. Like you don't want like not to have a digital presence in 2023 if you have a business, because that's essentially what you are as a comedian. You're a business. Like you're selling a product. But at the same time, I don't think you should have too much, because if everything that you do online is all your stuff, and then someone comes and sees you live and you're doing the same stuff, people will be like, oh, well, I've seen that before, I don't need to come again. So that's bad for your business. So I think you kind of have to strike this balance, like you said, of like having something on the internet for someone to find you with and go, oh man, I really like this, but then still consistently making new shit. And the new shit that you come and tour or you come and do live in person, that's how you can make your money. I mean, obviously the ideal world is that everyone good gets a Netflix special or like a fucking HBO special where you get paid and you have something online, but it doesn't, that's not how the world works.
It goes with at what point your career is in as well, right? Like I guess everyone starting out should definitely have stuff, like if you're up and comer for sure, but you do see rarely like the reverse effect. Like most, I guess, well-known comedians, when they do a special, it will be to like a distribution network, so it's just Netflix or like one of these. But you do have the odd occasion. I can only think of one, but you know how Andrew Schultz had a special, but then he decided to throw it on YouTube, and actually really worked in his favor, I think, because he's like, F it, I'm not going to give distribution and give it like all to this one company. And I guess like for him, because he's got such a big following, I don't know if he made more on that or like, once again, it gave him more access to everything. But like, yeah, it's rare you see the other way around, like really established to take the full, I'm going to just put on YouTube, this is my own thing. Yeah. Like I think completely independent, right?
I think with Andrew Schultz, like I don't know if he made more money doing that or not, but I know that he would have made more money from then going on tour. And
because he's
then,
smashing it now. He's on tour like everywhere right now.
Exactly. Because so what happened is you built your audience even more. So because you have this thing, hugely successful special that anyone can watch for free.
Yeah.
Right. So more people can come and watch you. You generate more leads for your business. And so when you go on tour, people are like, oh, I've seen you on special on YouTube because I didn't need the Netflix fucking subscription to watch it. It was free. Yeah. And so you've actually built a bigger audience. And so that's actually now like a really common and popular way to do it. Like heaps of comics do it. He did that shit. Mark Norman did that shit. Like he popped off online. And yeah, so that's kind of like the idea, I guess, as well behind this one, to be like, let's see how far that can take me, and if I don't like put any barriers for this content. This, by the way, this content that like most of I don't do live anymore because I'm like, you know, I burnt this.
Oh yeah.
I'm writing new shit now. I'm like working on new material. Yeah.
Do you feel like do you get fans coming up to you as like, oh, I've seen you on TikTok, I've seen you on Reels, like the whole 1 minute or even like less than 1 minute snippets that you post on the social media? Do you find that being as effective as just putting content on YouTube? Yeah,
to be honest with you, I haven't really touched my YouTube until now, so that's kind of like something that I need to like put more love into, but most of the reach that I have at the moment are those Reels and the TikToks and stuff. So like if anyone at all, I don't know how you guys experience, because you guys have blown up too. I kind of ran them at the same time as me, but most of the people recognize me from Reels and TikTok. Like if there's any like young Filipino kids who come up to me, they're often like, oh man, I love your TikToks, you know, and I'm like,
that's sick.
I'm not just a TikTok, I'm a comedian, like, you know, and then I'm like, okay, picture, like that, right? I have more than that. I'm an artist.
I'm an artist. I'm more than artist.
I'm more than just 30 seconds at a time.
I'm a whole hour.
I can do an hour special.
Yeah. But yeah, they recognize me from there. And it's wild, bro. I just did a gig in the weekend. It was just like a lineup show. I had like 15 minutes on a lineup, and someone tagged me in a story that they put, being like, when the guy that you just saw on Reels pops up on stage all of a sudden, like it's like they saw me on Reels that day,
manifested
and then
you.
They came to the gig and they're like, what the fuck, this guy's like here. So yeah, it works, man. It reaches people.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice, man. Hey, now that you're in Toronto, because I saw that you've done
nice
shows.
Pronunciation.
Thanks, man.
Toronto.
Thank you.
Toronto.
I was practicing.
That's
Toronto.
that's actually, bro, people will give you shit if you say Toronto here. People will be like, get the fuck out of our country.
It's it's like when you say Melbourne.
Yeah, bro.
Australians
Melbourne.
lose their shit, bro.
Melbourne.
I'm not
It's
even
Melbourne.
Australian. That fucks me off too.
Melbourne.
Did you say you like it, Christian?
Yeah.
He likes
On
the
a
controversy.
trigger.
That's what he
Yeah.
likes. He's like, yeah, say Melbourne. Say it.
It's like someone coming to Sydney and be like, oh, I'm enjoying Sydney.
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 Side
Yeah, Christian's like, I love that.
It's
That's
awesome.
the only way Christian can finish during intercourse. Is if someone goes,
Oh, Toronto.
it's like, ooh, daddy, say Melbourne for me. Melbourne, say Melbourne.
Melbourne. Oh.
Circular quay.
Sorry, this
Circular quay. Circular
Oh man.
Oh man.
You want to go to the segment?
I was gonna say.
Set me off.
Oh, sorry,
In
what were you
terms
gonna
of,
say, bro?
Yeah, in terms of like being in Toronto and stuff, is there a massive Filipino community over there? Is that
Bro.
is-
Oh, there would be for sure.
Bro, you have no idea. I think one of the largest like Filipino food festivals, like street festivals, is in Toronto. Yeah, it was here a couple of weeks ago. It's huge, man. There's a massive population here. That's
sick.
how many Filipinos are in Toronto? Drake grew up with Filipino people.
Yeah, because he does that
The
skit,
Manny
right?
Pacquiao. That's why he did the Manny Pacquiao one really well.
Yeah, he did it so well. It's like
Yeah.
he definitely has Filipino friends.
That's how you know.
Sure.
Yeah,
And now
I
I'm a
love how
Filipino
Drake
fan
is the
'cause I write
barometer
his
for
music.
everything Canadian.
in the dungeon.
Bro, it is. That's why I moved here.
Drake is the barometer
Yeah.
because of Drake.
Yeah.
Drake and Justin Bieber. That's
They have
the-
Drake
Yeah,
and they have
no,
Cinnabon.
Bieber.
Now I
And
don't
the
know.
Weeknd.
There's a lot of Filipinos in Toronto. This is the first part of the city's name is named after the
Toron.
banana. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Sorry, I messed up your joke. My bad, bro.
Yeah. Toron.
Sorry, bro.
No, it's
Toron doing
it's called,
stuff over here.
Sorry,
no, it's
bro.
called that because it's they're like someone was like, what should we call the city? And they're like, oh, what's this dessert? Oh, ito Toronto. And they're like, oh,
This.
This is
To.
Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. Oh, Toronto.
Toronto.
Torontado. That's someone should make a comedy sketch group here if they're Filipino, and it's called Torontado.
Torontados.
Man.
Speaking of puns, let's get into a segment of our thread
Hey, yo.
talk
Oi.
there, where I have posted on the thread talks rock bands if they were Filipino. So my suggestions were Limp Bizkit,
Limp Bistek.
which is Limp Bizkit.
It's very good.
Bistek.
I got Matalaga,
What?
which is Metallica,
Matalaga. Fuck.
Oh yeah, like
Matalaga.
and
no,
then
it's
I
more
have,
Madalaka.
and then I have Ikaw Rin, which is
You too.
you too.
That's good.
I can't do
Very funny.
Oh my god.
Fucking ikaw rin.
And I've also got Balikbayan Box 20, which is Matchbox 20.
Holy shit.
And then there was also like 30 seconds late to Mars. 'Cause, we're Filipino.
It's just
We're not going to be on time.
Yeah.
Bro, I was thinking of the exact same joke. I thought 90 minutes to Mars because traffic.
I'll see you there. See you there in a long time. I'm just at the door. So we have a few out here. Let me see if they have like other people that
It caught in, you prick.
You really fucked Gussie up on that one. You fucked Gussie up on that one, man.
That's on par with the Scream
God.
Seagal one.
The loss of the plot.
All right, so we have here. Let's see. We have a lot of. Someone said Support Garden, which is Soundgarden, which is.
What?
I'm
in
just
peace
trying to
to
find out
Antonio.
where. We have also a Basura, which is garbage, which obviously
Basura.
I got that one. Ube 40
about-
was good.
Ube 40.
Ube 40, I love that one. Shouts to Archeologic, which said Ube 40 for Ube 40.
Red horse.
Love that one.
That's really good.
And there's I think there's Paremo, which is Paramore.
And their hit song "Medical Business" is that? Yeah. Sorry.
There's a lot of and what else was there? There was also
Any other ones?
Hulog Boy,
What about-
Full Out Boy. It's alright.
What about
boy.
what about mais?
Corn.
I was just like, is it Black Eyed Peas? Because that's hip hop. Corn.
Itim na mata, is that what? Mais.
And then we have what else we have?
Picket
have-
182.
Boodle Fighters. Foo Fighters. Yeah, good. That's it.
Brutal fighters.
No Gout. No doubt.
No doubt.
No Gout's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
That's
good.
good. The
Don't
Who?
speak.
Sino?
I can't. I have arthritis. Sorry, you go.
Don't tell me because it hurts.
That's good. That's good stuff.
And we have What else we have? There's
No geld.
they have Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi,
Bon Jovi. Not bad.
Tito Bon Jovi.
Casino, which is the Who.
The Sino.
Casino, the Who.
Yo, that is a
Yeah, do
stretch.
you guys
Sorry,
have
who
any other
said
ones?
that? Who said the Sino? Ban them from the
This is
group.
stretch.
Call him out. Call him out.
Ban,
The Who?
The Young Sino.
Well, that was my
but you,
my
it's
little,
hard because you
thread talk
open.
there.
You opened with maybe one of the greatest jokes. Ikauden is like maybe the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. So
Best one, bro.
you came in hot. It's hard to top that.
This is you
what he
two,
does.
one of the best bands.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
Ube 40 is still good, bro. I like
Yeah,
that.
Ube 40 is good, brilliant.
Ikauden.
That was Thread Talk with us, with Filipino bands, rock bands if they were Filipino.
Rock bands.
Hey. So let's go into the wild thought.
All right. Fuck, what was I gonna? Oh yeah. So you guys kind of touched on this earlier with you mentioned that you went to Philippines with your missus. There's a phenomenon or like a thing that's going on at the moment with. There's a term called passport bros. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but
what's
it's
that?
nothing new. Basically, it's like dudes from the Western countries, mainly white dudes, going to Southeast Asia, right, to find their partners. And this is
And
like
find
an age-old
dating
story.
nets.
Hey,
That's exactly it.
And dating nets.
Finding young Filipino boys
Yeah.
yeah,
outside of
His
comedy
I love
clubs.
His situation is the callback throughout the episode. I love it.
yeah, no. To find a young lover. But it's it's an age-old thing, and I think it started to pick up more because people document their stay or like their whole process of leaving, say, America or Australia, going over there, and then when they find love, they end up like moving there. So, you know, people like start vlogging their lifestyle, the culture shocks and all that stuff. And it's picking up like I guess there's an audience on like with this kind of creator, like what would you call it? Like create a type of
Cult?
media?
Cult
No, I wouldn't say. Oh yeah, maybe.
It's a following of
But
theirs.
other people are getting on board and stuff, and just go, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. Like if I can't find love in where I'm living, I'll probably find love over there and stuff.
Also because people are doing it and
Yeah.
and documenting it.
Yeah,
Other
because
people-
aside from
So you're
documenting
saying,
the
like,
stay,
it's been glorified as a way to find love.
I think it always has been, but it's more like these guys are all like they're giving the process of like, well, first I got
Normalizing
my
it.
visa. Yeah, I suppose. But then
Yeah.
on the flip side, you're getting a lot of people triggered, mainly like women that are going like just calling these dudes names and stuff, right? Because it's the internet. You're always going to get hateful cunts that are going to shit on everybody. So just calling these guys losers, can't get girls in America, they got to go overseas and stuff. And then they're calling like the women from Southeast Asian countries like uneducated and stuff. And it's just typical hateful bullshit like that you would find from
haters.
people that just don't have things going for themselves, so they got to kind of retaliate online and stuff. But I've always been for it. Like as much as we see it, when you see two people happy, no matter like where they're coming from and stuff, right? Whether they're coming from overseas to find love in Philippines, Vietnam, like Southeast Asian countries, they're both happy. Like it's not really like up to me to say stuff about their relationship and shit.
Yep.
The thing that I'm kind of like I've got this irk about is there's a movement for them, passport bros. Because I'm thinking like if I do that, if I go to Philippines
To find love.
to find love, I don't think they're gonna call me a passport bro because I'm from Philippines, right? I'm thinking like what are the names that they could call me, or like this movement that I could start. It's just like maybe Balikbayan brothers. I don't know. if
Like
this is-
Bayan bros.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if I can start like my own movement and shit, and then it's like who's gonna get like angry at me for doing that shit? Maybe like I don't know, white women in Australia. I don't know. Someone's got to get angry somehow because otherwise I feel like I haven't succeeded unless I've triggered someone.
I found the name, bro.
What?
What's the name?
Pinoy abroad. Because Pinoy
Yeah.
a
Abroad.
A broad.
Because you are a Pinoy from abroad.
Yeah.
And you're going in there
Getting
being a
abroad.
Pinoy to find abroad.
So like Pinoy abroad boys.
Whoa! Where did the boys come from? I'm looking for boys.
So we're trying to find like a passport boys.
Christian, where
This young lover thing
where do
has
you
really
see, where's
gotten
like,
out of hand.
where are they posting the vlogs and stuff? Is it just like on YouTube?
It's like YouTube, TikToks, and Reels and stuff. It's
Wow.
it's like a hashtag, like the Passport Bros hashtag.
I have mixed emotions about it. About that.
Please do share.
I think perfectly valid to be like, for me personally, this is my own take on it, but this is just my opinion. Because I actually did a podcast about this, not this specifically, but just kind of this topic in New Zealand, and so we like did a bit of research on it. I think it's a mixed bag because you can get people who are like just genuinely like, this is how they met and they love each other and it's like a healthy relationship, and obviously can't shit on that. Like, I don't want to, like, if that's how you found someone that it worked out and they like you back, it's mutual, huh? The word of the day.
Mutual.
And it's mutual. But I think I think maybe sometimes people get angry at it because inherently there's like a dynamic there. There's like there can be a power dynamic of like money, which can be
of course,
like for people, like I think in the past there's been like people like young women or dudes too in the Philippines who like are like need a way out, and so for them they're kind of like trapped in that situation because they're like, well, this is my only way to get out of my situation, and so I have to go with this guy, and then that relationship will turn into some fucking like, then they'll like leave the country with like this white dude. And I think the reason why people get mad maybe sometimes is because Filipino women or Asian women or Asian dudes kind of feel sometimes some type of way like preyed upon by especially older sometimes white people. And so like that does happen. And like I went to the Philippines, me and Esther went to this spa. And the people sitting across from us were like this old white dude who looked American, and then this like mad young Filipino girl, maybe like 30 years, his and she looked so sad, like, and like, I was just like, oof, fuck, like I think I know what the situation. I don't want to, like, I'm not making assumptions, but just judging off of the information I have.
You see. Yeah.
Like, if it's that's fucking
doesn't
sucks.
look good.
Like, and so I think there is. While I think there is obviously the good that can come from it, there's also like very valid bad shit that can come from or situations. Definitely. I don't know if bad's the right word, but like unfortunate or like maybe. And so I think people kind of feeling some type of way about it on the internet, I can understand how that's kind of hating, but at the same time, some of them maybe I can understand. I'm like, yo, what the like I can understand why they'd be mad at that. It is like, again, the internet is such a dog shit place to discuss anything with nuance in it because you just lose any context. But yeah, I just thought I want to present that perspective on it because I think there's reasons why that could be kind of troublesome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm with you. Yeah,
I think with that one though, like, I think the whole Passport Bros thing is more. There's like a whole bunch of them that aren't even like they're moving there. You know what I mean? Like it's not like because again, like a lot of these cities, it's not like how it was before. I think we grew up on the notion that when you see an old white dude in Philippines, it's just trying to look for a young woman that they're gonna pull out of the country, and it's like getting them out of that. Financial
situation or whatever
that they're in, you know what I mean? But nowadays, because it's such a growing kind of place, like they're finding that it's not just the women there too, it's the lifestyle, like a lot of the companies that they work for that might have jobs in Southeast Asia. They're finding that their money goes a long way more than back at home, so they end up finding that like living in Southeast Asia is way better than in the Western world and stuff.
I mean,
I think it's more than just the partner, right? They look at the lifestyle, I guess, and what people value.
Yeah, so the
It's a bit
passport
more
bursting
different.
is that lifestyle
Cultures.
type thing. I can see with
Well,
where
yeah.
the money angle comes in, because there's a lot of creeps that would definitely. I think that's just like in any.
I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of. I think I know what
Interaction.
you're talking about, man. I've been seeing a lot of these videos too, and this is just me repeat. I'm not like condoning it. I don't support all of it, but a lot of them, I think their reasoning that a lot of them want to move overseas is because they actually like this. I'm just paraphrasing. They say they're tired of like the dating scene in Western cultures, and like
Right.
not like to bag Western women, but obviously because Western women there's a bit more, I guess with like it's not the same traditions as like old school traditions where you see that a lot more in Asian cultures, like how I'm not gonna say like the women serve the men or anything.
That's gonna be like,
I'm like,
old school, where women didn't have a choice, where they had to fucking
I'm
listen.
trying to word it better, man. You're gonna save me, bro. James, save me, please.
There's no saving you, man.
Save me for
can't
a
be
second.
political on his pod.
You grabbed a fucking shovel and then you dug all the way down to the point where
I'm
you're
trying
like,
to dig out.
at least back in the
trying to dig
day, when women didn't have a choice and they had to listen to Nats. Nats was in charge.
I'm trying to dig
It's
myself
me.
out, man.
You make me dinner. You
I think,
fucking
look. With,
No, but you know what I'm saying.
I think what Nats
Okay,
is trying to say. I think what Nats is trying to say, and let me see if I'm getting this right. Nats,
No, look,
is that
all
like
right,
these
okay,
people
go.
decide like that for them
They like the values that
wherever
the
they're
women
staying,
have.
wherever they're staying in the moment. Say if it's America, the dating scene for them doesn't work, and I mean for me.
Now you're
my
sugarcoating it.
opinion
I'm
of
saying
is like
exactly what
maybe
they're
it's not-
saying. I know you're trying to save me, but I'm
Nats
just
is like,
sugarcoating it.
Nats is like, save me. No, fuck you. Actually, what I'm trying to say is that women shouldn't have autonomy to do what they want.
I'm not saying.
What
I'm
I'm trying to say,
paraphrasing.
save me, I'm drowning.
I had a
But what I'm trying to say
disclaimer.
is,
I had a disclaimer. I had a disclaimer.
no, hear me out. What I'm trying to
That's
say
funny,
is,
bro.
no, I don't mean it like this, but I think that maybe women shouldn't have a choice. Save
I
me.
paraphrased.
I don't know what I'm doing. Save me.
What's the point of a disclaimer?
Okay, can I speak to what Nats is saying?
No,
I think that's no.
please.
This is
Okay.
I want to rebut what you're saying, Nats, because I think for me personally, that's the problem. The problem is that they have an issue with the quote unquote dating culture in the West, because the reason they have often, and this isn't always, sometimes people are just find it hard. Often that the issue for a lot of these guys is that women won't do what I want them to do, which. Like, they don't owe you shit, bro. Like, just be a good person and they'll come around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if the reason you're going to this country is because, I can't get any girls from this country because they won't do what I like, then I'm like, then what are you doing? There's millions of women and you're telling me no one likes you? Then
And
maybe
no, to be fair,
reevaluate what the fuck you're up to.
I think the issue is the ones that they're interviewing. So the women they're interviewing are these like sort of OnlyFans types chicks as well, and they don't want to. It's like there's definitely more women than just OnlyFans type girls. I think they're using that as the and then they're comparing like Asian women. They're more conservative. They want to have not multiple dating partners and slept with everyone
again,
kind of thing.
Like those then I go, those guys
The extremes.
are like they're like their head's so far up Andrew Tate's ass that they can't.
Yes, that's
They
it. That's
can't
exactly
actually
it.
like realize that there are real women in the world who just
There's
want,
real women,
like,
and
what are
they
you
don't know
doing?
where to look. They're
That's
like
not
in
what-
this. They're in this pool of OnlyFans pool. Thanks, man. See, you had my back. I told you.
No,
so I'm out of the grave.
I'm not in the hole with
I'm
you.
out. Thanks, man.
You,
Thanks,
no,
bro.
you
Yeah.
stay in your hole.
Woohoo!
You stay in your hole that you've been digging from the very start of this episode. No. You stay in your hole. You stay there. You think about what you said. You think about what you did.
I don't think I said anything wrong, to be honest.
But yeah, no.
I see this.
I love you're so buzzy, bro. You're like, save me. I don't want to say anything bad, but I'm gonna double down and say the worst things I can say right now.
I can't lie. I was paraphrasing.
Like, I don't want to.
James-
Again, I don't want to. I don't want to come here like high and mighty, blah blah blah. Like, I'm not. Like, that's. I'm
No,
just
exactly.
saying,
That's why.
I think
That's why
it's
you helped me
important.
get out the hole.
No,
we're
we're
the same
not.
team.
No, get the fuck out of my
Same thing.
face.
Thanks, bro. James is a good guy, bro.
Learn your lesson.
No, I'm not. I'm not like. I think it's just important to present. I think it's important to present that perspective on it because I think
definitely. Two sides.
If the reason, again, I go back to if the reason, I'm all about people deserve to find love. You know, if you're lonely, you should be able to find someone. But if the reason you're not finding the love is because you're a fucking asshole, think about your life. Like, fix yourself.
And
and
look
then
at the
it'll
pool
happen.
you're swimming in. The pool you're swimming
get
in.
the fuck out of my pool.
Just look at the pool you're swimming in.
But just like reevaluate.
You might be infested.
If the reason if the woman are repelled from you because you keep repeating fucked up shit that you heard on TikTok, I'm like, maybe stop saying the fucked up shit you heard on TikTok.
There's a whole ocean out there.
Little bit of self-reflection is needed.
Yeah, you know, it's just like let's reevaluate. Like,
you know what? I'm really glad. I'm glad we're all on the same page with this.
No,
I'm
wait,
really
don't
glad.
get the fuck. No,
It's amazing. It's great we could agree on. I mean, you just said it a different way, but same.
No,
same.
Same, different.
Same.
Oh my god! Fucking hell! Oh man!
I just love the fact that James just woke up. You know, like it's like morning for him.
Yo, what time is it there for you?
It's nearly 9, but it was like 7 when I woke up. But I always wake up like this. I wake up like a woke cuck snowflake every day. You know, I've got like, I'm like, wow, time to infect the world with my liberal agenda. That's how I wake up every day. Time to be a insufferable woke fuckhead.
Oh, dude. Oh man, this is meant to be really lighthearted and just like talking about casual conversation stuff, man.
I love it, man. Substance, bro. Substance.
I'm just trying to figure out what to snip,
But yeah,
bro.
before
There's gonna be half of this that we can't include.
But I think this episode, all you're gonna get is the bands, the Filipino bands.
We saved the episode with that. Everything else is you can't really talk about it in 1 minute, you know.
Yeah.
Too
But
much
yeah,
context.
I don't. Again, I just seriously, I don't want to be like with stuff. But because with the stuff that Christian was talking about, I think it's mad valid. I think if people are lonely and people need to find something, I'm like, sure, like do your thing, but just don't just think about the reasons before you go. You know, if you're going to the Philippines because you think the woman are like, man, it's so exotic, wow, exotic, so different, I'm like, that seems kind of creepy to me.
Yeah.
But if you're going because you're like, hey, I love the culture, I respect it here, I want to respect the people, I want to do that, I think that's fine. I suppose. Yeah. You know, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think like everywhere you go, there's always gonna be the creeps and the fuckboys.
Yeah,
anyway.
no.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I think the whole movement thing, because it is becoming like that, where they're moving into the countries and delving into the culture and stuff. That's why there's content around it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But everybody knows about the creeps. It's like that's an age-old type thing. No one's doing movements about that shit.
Yeah,
But it's
I think
becoming more and more attractive for people to go, hey man, like my company has a place in Philippines. Why don't I move and up bring my I don't know, like my home over there?
Yeah.
Because it's just much more, I don't know, better.
You're right, James. That there could be valid reasons for people to go over there, other than just it's probably easier for me to get a date in another in a Southeast Asian country.
Yeah.
Because I always say it to the boys. I'm like, I'd move to it'd be cool to move to Thailand and just do Muay Thai.
You creep.
because the cost of living will be lower there, and all I could do is just train every day.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
It's quite common.
There's Thai people here.
yeah. I think it's also one of the other reasons that I'm like, I feel a weird type of way with how some, not all obviously, but like a lot of Filipinos give white people an easy pass because of this is what I was talking about with that first special of this is why it's so like people lose their fucking mind when they see a white person speaking Tagalog. They're like, whoa, wow, cool, like no way you're speaking our language, it's so cool. Like I'm like they like treat them like they're like on YouTube, like on the comments, they're like, wow, you're so fucking special. And it is different, so that I can see why it's interesting. But I think Yeah, man. Sometimes especially in like the big cities or in like Manila, like they can get like a special pass. But and so I'm always, I guess that's why I'm sus of it. Always, I'm like, are these people like taking advantage of that when they come over, or like what the fuck, you know? Like,
or is it genuine?
It's true.
Yeah, or is it for real? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. There was that and Nats was talking about it before. Not none of the other controversial stuff. It was more along the lines of when people make Filipino content and they're not necessarily Filipino, it's like they're doing it just to take advantage of the platform and just to take
because they know Filipinos will eat it up because they like you know. White person speaks Tagalog, and then they'll just use that.
So that's when it feels like mad exploitative, because they know they'll get mad like YouTube and views on TikTok, because all the Filipinos go wide-eyed whenever they see a he's speaking Tagalog. You know, they're like, wow,
and
just like,
there's like,
and then it
not
feels
to delve
like
into the whole thing, but the whole reverse racism thing. And then like, I think one of the things we cop is like, we're trying.
My man is about to delve into the shit. He's like, not to delve into it, but here's a controversial take that will definitely get that I probably but save me when I say it. Save me when I say the worst thing.
I feel free to say it because James is here. The guys usually just let me, and then James is like, I know exactly where he's going with this, and he lets me.
Save me.
We rein you in, bro. We rein you in. And then, like I tried to earlier, and you were just like, no.
Not to dive into it.
That's not what I'm saying.
Let's not shake.
But like,
I'm just saying, like, our biggest critique.
The thing that I was going to say was that, like,
the biggest critique that we get is like we're trying to learn.
Like career, as it were.
Yeah, like we're trying to learn Tagalog, and we get we get to get shitted on sometimes for it. And, yeah. I'll leave it at that just in case. Let's keep it short.
Early on with our content, a lot of people thought that we were creating it just because we were trying to take advantage of the Filipino culture, to take advantage of the thing, but it didn't make sense that we were doing that because we're actually Filipino, yes, we're making content, and yes, it could be like, we could use it for our to promote our stuff, but it's like it didn't make sense that we were trying to take advantage of it, if that made sense. Did that happen for you as well? Were you getting comments from people
this guy
around?
gets a lot of hate. Right?
Do you get hate comments and stuff online?
A lot of hate.
Yeah, I do. I get it, but it's weird, eh? It's sometimes it's hard to put all the negative comments into the same basket, because some of them I weirdly agree with, some of them are valid, but some of them I'm like, well, you're clearly not listening to what I'm hearing, no, what I'm saying, right? So let me break it down. So the one that I'm kind of like, I can see why you'd feel that way is if I do any jokes that has anything to do with like talking about the Filipino language or accent or anything, because people's main concern is that the one concern that I can kind of agree with is the idea that if maybe the wrong audience is laughing at what I'm doing, like if I'm doing this joke about how funny the Filipino accent is, and the majority of people enjoying it are like white and they're laughing at me, then that feels not great. Like, and then I'm like, okay, well then maybe I should reassess. I used to do that reel that I uploaded about the Filipino accent being able to turn 5 words into 1 word. I used to do that as stand-up, and but to like a majority white audiences, and I used to say that the accent wasn't sexy, you can't take it seriously, you can't do all these things, and I would like shit on it before doing the joke in front of like mostly white people, and upon reflection, like that doesn't feel good, because that's all that's doing is giving them license to laugh at that. But now it's in a different context. A majority of the people that actually like and comment on it and enjoy it are Filipino, and for me that is more of and I've phrased it differently. I say it's my favorite thing about this accent that I love and that reminds me of home, that it comes from a place of warmth and embracing it now. Embracing, not to say that you can't make jokes about it, but it comes from a different place. It doesn't come from a place of like, look how fucking stupid and like shitty this accent is. It comes from a place of, this is a great accent, I love it, but it does have its quirks. It's
Yeah,
it
you're
has
punching
like
up now instead of punching down.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's not even necessarily that, but it's just like the perspective that I'm coming from is different, and I've got a mindset change. Now, the perspective that I kind of agree with that is when people worry that I'm arming white people with ammo to make fun of others with. That's when I'm like, okay, sure, that's a valid take, and if you still think that, even with me saying I love this accent and this is my favorite thing about it and it's great, if you still think that, that's fine. You can think that. That's okay. But now for me, I still get a lot of people saying, "Oh, why are you trying to make our accent sound stupid, or we're not dumb?" No, I never said that we're dumb. You're projecting that onto what I said. I never said that this is a stupid accent. I said that this has quirks and I love it. But you are now assuming that when you hear that accent, that person is uneducated, is unintelligent, can't speak English properly, because speaking English properly is the only way to be successful in the world. That's bullshit. No, I think it's like kind of bending over to white supremacy to be like, oh, you have to speak English well or you're not smart. No, that's dog shit. I think you can have this accent with all these quirks, and have love for it, but still find it funny that it has like all these little attributes. And I think, yeah. Anyway, so that's where I find like that it's kind of valid, like where people are concerned about that. What fucks me off is when people hear my Kiwi accent and they call me Phil Lam, first of all, so I'm like already wrong. I'm not, and I'm sure you guys get this too. Yeah, I'm Phil NZ. I don't know what the fuck that is, but
Philins.
Well, actually, I'm not Phil NZ. I'm a funny boy, but but they immediately come in with not another Phil Lam laughing at us, and I'm like, man, like I get it. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I get it. You don't want that, and you guys will know this. There's like a civil war going on with like people who grew up in the Philippines and people who grew up overseas. Sorry, I'm rambling now, but and it doesn't make sense to me.
He's delving where I was gonna go. It's good though.
No, you weren't going here. Don't worry. I knew where you were going. Man, I've taken the wheel. We're going somewhere else, my bro.
Exactly where we're going.
There's like this beef that doesn't.
Vroom, vroom.
Nope, not at all. There's just like this beef that's happening, and I don't understand it. I understand it to a certain level, but I'm like, man, all that happened is we grew up in different places. All that happened is our parents called us fat from a different continent. Like that's we're
in a different language.
Yeah, we're in the same boat. Like I think people assume that if you grew up in the West, you have a certain amount of privilege, but I failed to realize how much fucking harder like it is to make money. Like it's so expensive to live overseas. Like, dude, I can barely afford my rent. I'm not like rich in Canada.
I know what you mean.
But then on the flip side, I think there are genuinely Phil Lam people, mostly from the States, who like look down on people who quote unquote never made it out of or never got out of the hood or whatever. And if you're that person, then that's kind of fucked up. Like, why are you looking down on people from your own place? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, so there are people from like both situations unreasonably hating on each other. But for me, it doesn't make sense because, just fucking try to empathize with the other side and see. Anyway, that's a roundabout way of saying, yes, I do get people who comment, but it's hard. Sometimes I don't reply because you can't unpack all of this in a comment. Like, this is something that I need to talk to people about. Like, I can't just write a reply because then we're just shouting at each other and we're not really gonna reach anyone. Yeah. Anyway,
I like that you do try to address some of the things because you feel that it's important too. In your comments for us, whenever we get a negative comment or something, I do my best to try to be nice to the person, but not in an ironic way. Like one of the people commented a lot on almost every video of ours and just was trying to shit on Garcia for whatever reason that they had just no idea why they were always just shitting on him. And like it got to a point where I was just like, I commented back to them saying, you know what, I admire your determination to comment on every single video, and yeah, it would just trying to. I couldn't understand their point of view as to why they were trying to be so negative and things like that. But instead of getting angry, instead of trying to be like, you know, you're an idiot and this and that, it's just like, hey man, like doing really well, trying to like be nice to them and in that kind of respect.
Depending on how much energy I have, often I'll just agree. They're like, whatever, Joko wannabe, he's the best. I'm like, you're right, he is.
Yeah. Yeah. What can they say after that?
Yeah. I know, right?
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
Exactly.
I'm gonna dip. Is that okay? Let's do some family stuff. James, thank you.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for having me.
I like listening to like your perspective on all the topics, the deep topics, because
It's
like
got
sometimes
deep,
people
man.
expect
deep.
like light-hearted conversations between our podcasts and comedians and stuff like that, but you dealing with the depths that you go to, whether it be about our culture, whether it be topics that we bring up, man, your opinion is really, you know, it really brings a new perspective on things. So thanks for bringing that onto this podcast. So just want to say that before I leave. You know?
I appreciate it, bro.
it.
Thank you so much. I agree with. I just agree with them. I agree with the comment sometimes if I have the energy, because I think for me, I'm like, look, what if you had enough energy to comment on my thing, or like I've obviously like hit a sore spot, or you just don't like your life or something, or you're not satisfied with something, so like there's no point coming at you with like vitriol or something. Like I can at least just make, a lot of people just want to feel heard, and so that's why they comment.
Yeah.
Like the only comment that I will sarcastically be an asshole to is if someone goes, not funny, like that's it. Like I'm like, well, fucking get the fuck out of here. Just I don't care if you, I know I am, you're wrong, but it's mostly the stuff there where someone's like clearly been hurt or something, that I'm like, hurt. You know, like what's
lashing out
going
for,
on here?
like, where's this coming from type thing.
Yeah, because I
Man.
But and then sometimes I think it's healthy to be like, fuck, was I wrong? Am I being a dick? Like am I actually like doing what they're saying? Because then if you don't have that bone in your body to be able to do that, you're just Trump, bro. Like you're not any different from anyone who can't handle any criticism. I don't know.
Man, this podcast has like gone so many different ways.
This is what I meant when I just like start off by being, and then the more you talk to me, the more I'm like, have you ever thought about like that we're all gonna die one day?
No, you know, I'm not for real. Before I was very one-sided in my thoughts. You know, the first situation story I had.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even repeat it, but you know, you do have a point. Like, you know, you don't know what people have sort of like experienced with the situation and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, no, even that, like, you can say that, like, we say that, like, you know, you can always say that that's an easy example, but when you really do think about it, it could be just coming from a different place, and like they're just so one-sided in what they're seeing, and it's just a form of lashing out. And it's like, you know what, you got a point.
Take this for example,
people are going through.
This is what I have to remind myself every time. Like, so if someone comments, like, I get a lot of people being like, oh, yet another, this, it just fucks me off that they're wrong, that they call me Phil Lamb. I'm like, I'm fucking not.
Yeah.
Like whenever I get a comment, it's like, oh, another Phil Lamb comedian making fun of our culture. I have to go, okay, hold the phone. All right, before you get fucking mad, remind yourself that maybe this person has been like, what's it called? Like, someone has bullied them for having an accent, or like someone has bullied them for not speaking English well. Someone has bullied them for X, Y, like whatever reason, that whatever you did has now reminded them of that. And so they're now, all they're doing is going, hey, what you're doing actually fucking hurt me, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I just have to be like, just think of that. Because if I don't, I just get defensive. And that shit's not going to get you anywhere on the internet. And I still fall for this trap. I still fall for this trap, though. You go. Sorry, Christian.
Sorry, the things that you do now that triggers them, though, I mean, it's really, you gotta think about, like, it's their bully that fucking did that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
of course.
I don't know if it's like
100%.
really, because again, you're not doing anything. Like, I could be, bro, I messaged you about this. I put rice on the pizza. The least offensive thing I thought would have, you know what I mean? But then those people were so triggered. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm not
Don't
gonna
get me
go.
wrong.
Hey, did someone bully this dude by putting rice on their pizza one day?
I think
you know what I mean. It's not my job.
Yeah. You have to. I think that's slightly different to like the accent. Like the accent stuff is so tied to you personally. It's so personal. I think that's like, well, you're just being like a pizza. Sure, it's like not that big a deal. You're making a mountain out of a molehill here. But I think you have to. Yeah, I think also it's important to be able to choose your battles online because, and this is my toxic trait. My toxic trait is that I think I make content for like hundreds of millions of people, my target audience, quote unquote, Filipinos, hundreds of millions of Filipinos all over the world, and I expect them all to like it. No, dude, that's not going to happen. So you just have to like constantly remind yourself that it's okay for people to not like your shit and think you're not funny or think you're offensive or think you're, because now, and you guys are in the same boat. We're reaching millions of people now. This ain't just you guys in a warehouse. This ain't just me in a fucking basement like doing comedy. You're now reaching people with like different opinions, different political leanings to you, different fucking like upbringings, different like opinions, and so you just need to be fine with it.
Yeah, no.
That's the
Maybe
harsh.
I should have reworded some of the things I said.
I was telling my mom this joke, and I'm not going to repeat the joke, but I told this joke and it was playing on the words of like "tang ina," right? Like that was the joke, and my mom was like, "That's bad, like that's bad." And then I showed her a commercial immediately afterwards that was playing on the same words, but like they were. It was one that you shared with me.
Yeah.
That was like doing the same thing but in a different way, and my mum was laughing at it, and in my head I was like, what? I don't understand. It's the same joke, it's the same thing, but like you're
She doesn't want to hear a baby.
Yeah, she doesn't want to hear me
swearing in her mother
honestly
tongue.
that's probably it, bro. Like she's like, no,
Maybe.
wag naman, and you're like, come on, man.
bad.
Yeah.
That's not good.
But yeah, and I was like, it was something that I said to her. I go, if it is kind of a risk that you have if you have an opinion or if you're making a joke, that there is a risk that you could offend somebody. That's not necessarily your intention to offend people as a comedian or as someone who's trying to make jokes and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, like you said, people will have different opinions, they have different values, different perspectives, and if you say something, say it out of context, call back to Nats's story before, people are going to take offense to it and probably punch you in the face.
And I think it's like, personally, I think a lot of people overhype or blow out of proportion this idea that like you'll get cancelled and you'll never work again, and it's like, no, a lot of the comedians that have been quote unquote cancelled went on to have a Netflix special, several actually, like they sell arenas. So I think people,
it helps comedians sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so.
Not me. So get out of here.
We got you, James.
It does. It genuinely. It gives them free publicity, and it gives them like free headlines, and it gives them more visibility to people.
Yeah.
But I just want to go back to what we're saying with like the what's it called, the not replying to the people. But I just like, I know it's like what you're saying, Garcia. Like it's not your job, because you didn't do that to them. They got triggered by your thing. And this is, I think, the only thing that, a big thing that helps me with the fear of this and stand-up, of like being like, oh, can I say that? Can I not? Is like, my value system is just, I try to just not make the world shittier for people. I try. I won't always get it right. Sometimes maybe someone might get offended or hurt by what I say. But if I'm just like trying that, like that's the thing that I just stick to. Like I want to make people laugh, and I want to make things a little bit less shittier for people.
Yeah,
that's it. And so like, and that applies to everything in my life. Like that's why I'm like, when you talk about like, why are you so caught up with like, you're not transgender, why do you want to say the right word, why do you want to use the right gender for the person? It's because I don't want to make life shittier for that person. Like maybe they had, like someone fucking called them like a bad thing while they were walking down the street, and then I fucking run into them and I say something else, and it makes it worse. You're like Nat, like like maybe someone fucking like called them 1,000 awful things on the internet that morning, and then you just got the brunt of that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, your friend's face got the brunt of it, but I just try to like not make things shitty. And so if it's not my fault or my job to necessarily be like, you know, my bad, I'm like, well, fuck, like let's not double down on this person who clearly was angry at something.
You're one of the best of us, mate. You are one of the best of us, honestly.
No, I'm a bad guy. Don't fall for this.
Here are my comments. You need therapy, dude.
This is why I emphasize the word try, because try, but sometimes you don't, and you know, I'm not like any better than anyone. I'm not like high horsing the shit. Like, I don't think.
No.
I'm not saying that you're. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm saying that you're one of the best of us because you try, because you want to make things a little bit nicer, a little bit better for people. Because other people like won't bother doing that. Like other people just be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's like, yeah. Yo, here's I want to caveat to that. I want to add a caveat. Like, I don't think that I always have the energy to try, and when I don't, and sometimes I am in that camp of like, fuck them. Like, you know, sometimes I feel that way because that's just. I can't. I'm tired.
Too much effort, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's just because you got me in the morning. I've got energy today. You know, I've just woken up.
But he's had his breakfast this morning. He's like, I'm ready to take on the world.
Bro, if we did this podcast at night when I'm tired, I'd be with Nats right there in the weeds with Nats. I'd be like, yeah, let's get into it. Let's
triple down on this, Nats.
Yeah, fam.
Oh man,
everyone's so woke.
Oh god.
Oh bro, look, man, I want to thank you for coming onto the show. Your special's coming out August 30th. It's going to be worldwide on YouTube. Whereabouts can people find it?
On my YouTube channel, Roque Comedy, or you can just go to my website, jamesroque.com. It'll be there, or on Instagram. Yeah, please. I fucking hope people watch it, dude. Like, I'm low-key quite nervous about it because I don't want to be that guy who drops a special on YouTube and it's got like 300 views, and I'm like, oh, cool, might as well just give up.
We're gonna pump it for sure, man, and all of our listeners out there. If you go to jamesroque.com or his YouTube channel, YouTube/Roque Comedy.
I know you guys get a lot of the same comments I do of like, look at these foreign Filipinos making fun of us and stuff. But I think what you guys do serves a big purpose in that you give a lot of like diaspora Filipino representation, like a lot of, especially like in Australia. There's not a lot of that in Australia. There's fuck all of it actually. Australia is very white in the media, and so I think it's important what you guys are doing, and doing it through jokes is a big thing. But I will say, don't anyone listening to this who like disagree with the stuff or think that your intentions are like to dump on them, like I hope they can see through that and see that your intentions are like actually just for entertainment and pure, except for Nats, whose intentions is to destroy the world and to have the most controversial hot topic fucking just coming in hot opinion on everything, and whose intention is probably to never work ever again professionally in a situation.
I'm speechless, James. I thought we were in the same boat. I thought we were in the same jeepney driving to the horizons.
Oh my god.